Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs on our YouTube channel. We're live every Sunday at 11 a.m. on our Condo Craze and HOAs YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, by the way. And I'm Karen Curtis. I'm here again today with attorney Eric Glazer from Glazer & Sachs, PA. Eric is board certified by the Florida Bar in condominium and planned development law. He has a firm with attorneys in Fort Lauderdale and Orlando. And we're here each week to answer all your calls, emails, and chat questions on our YouTube channel that, about anything that makes life in your condominium or HOA absolutely crazy from 1 minute to the next. You won't believe today's topics. Oh my gosh. Really? And we'd love to get the phone lines going early. Very simple phone number to call, or you can ask us a chat question. Some people call and ask the chat question. Right. So either way,
they're really eager to get through.
They are very eager to get through. No matter what, you can give us a call in our studio. It's very simple. 717-Glazer-8, 717-Glazer-8. And that spells out to 717-452-9378. Eric.
Yeah, and last week was so flattering. We literally had dozens of people on hold. It was amazing. And if you're a fan of the show, don't forget to subscribe to two things. Number one, of course, like Karen said, the Condo Craze and HOAs channel on YouTube, where you can not only just watch the show live, but we've built up an amazing library, a really fantastic podcast library.
I know.
So if you miss a show, if you want to do research on God knows how many topics, they're all there. Just watch it at your convenience.
We've been doing this for a little while.
For a long time, huh? And please don't forget to hit subscribe and like. And in addition to that, just make sure you join our email list at condocrazeandhoas.com, because by joining each week, you can get emails about the show, our blog, our seminars. They're next week already. I didn't even realize it until this morning. Yeah, they are next week. The seminars start.
You're going to be so busy.
You'll get copies of our newsletters, updates on the law, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, and everybody, don't forget, you can also follow the show on Facebook, on TikTok, Apple, Spotify, anywhere that you're going to get your podcast on any platform. We are there.
Absolutely.
Condo Craze and HOAs.
Now, we do a blog every Monday morning at hoa-condoblog.com. Again, hoa-condoblog.com. Tomorrow's topic, community association managers might not like this, but they are in the crosshairs of the Florida legislature. To find out more, again, just go to our blog tomorrow, hoa-condoblog.com.
Oh, boy.
Now, Karen, you started this week sending me a really disturbing article, a really disturbing story.
It's one I covered.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not the first time we heard about something like this in Florida. And tell everybody about this unfortunate event.
So, yeah, I covered this in my other job. I do the news, and I covered the whole press conference with an attorney friend of yours,
Gary
in
Lasher,
Fort Pierce. And it was actually a 55 and over community. Right. This woman, 85-year-old woman, lived there for 30 years, and she had a little dog named Trooper, and they actually told her that she would be evicted if she walked that dog out front in the front yard. She either had to walk it in the back by the retention pond, or take it down the road like a couple miles to walk it at a dog park.
So she listens to them, and
so she follows the rules, and this is on camera,
right,
is walking the dog last year, and this 10-foot, 700-pound gator comes out, grabs her by the foot, and drags her into the retention pond, and the neighbors try to save her, and she drowns. Yeah. It kills her.
And the dog?
I don't know about the dog.
Oh, the video is just
did the dog make it?
I don't know.
I can't even. But anyway, so there's a wrongful death suit now.
This was obviously foreseeable, like you said.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they to tell everybody, they had a pet name for the alligator.
Yeah, so there were multiple alligators this, and there are multiple alligators in many communities. Like we had the one in Disney World in Orlando that took the little boy, and there were no signs warning people, but people were feeding this. The staff and residents were feeding this gator, and they named it Henry.
Can you imagine
that just made it exponentially more dangerous.
So they know an alligator's in the back pond somewhere. They give it a freaking name called Henry. They feed it, and then they tell her to walk her dog right where this alligator is.
Right.
It's impossible to believe.
Yeah.
So
because usually wrongful death, she's 85. What's the worth of her life? I mean, I don't know how that's going to go.
Well, if there's
egregious.
Ever to me a case for punitive damages, this seems to be the case. I mean, telling somebody to walk their dog, mandating it, where the alligators are.
Or we're going to kick you out, and she owns her house.
So
I understand that. I guess the HOA owns the ground, and you rent the ground, and that's how they can evict her. Because I didn't understand that if you own
I'm not sure.
how can you be
how it
evicted
is.
from your own home?
I don't know, but the bottom line is she was subject to their rule. Apparently, under whatever scenario it was, she was subject to their rules. And one of the rules, like you said, was walk your dog over here, next to the alligators. So this is a case where the insurance company is just going to have to stroke a large check, but the check doesn't get the family member back. That's the tragedy.
Correct. But if the board had put up signs, and also the state offers a free removal.
Right, exactly, right.
You know,
the state
the
could have gotten it out.
FWC.
But what was the problem walking the dog in the front of the community? What was the problem?
I don't know. You can't walk your dog in
and
the
just
street.
pick up after your dog.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
But if there were signs, would they have a case?
If there were signs in the back, yeah, I still think that they'd probably have a suit because why were they letting dangerous alligators in the community when they could have simply been removed, like you said, for free?
Right.
So I think even with a sign, absolutely, there would have been some liability.
So this is a note to pretty much all
this is,
HOAs that have retention ponds
We've
or any kind of.
spoken about things like this. Remember, there were alligators. People were opening sliding glass doors, and there was snakes hanging down. People were getting bit by snakes.
Yes.
And somebody lost their leg.
Right. It was in her
story?
door wall
Right.
track.
And they weren't removing snakes in the community, and
Yep.
the association was held liable. So, Florida is a state where we live with nature.
Everything wants to kill you in Florida.
Right. But yeah, bottom line. And if you don't take action to make the community safe, you will be on the hook.
Personally.
Potentially personally, because as you know, directors are normally not personally liable except when they act with disregard to safety.
And that's true
here,
for HOAs and
yes,
okay.
absolutely. And here, how can you argue that they didn't act with disregard for safety, right?
Yeah.
So, this is a case that can even result in liability against individual directors.
It almost seems criminal to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does.
Like a
Might be. I don't know, but I think the authorities should absolutely look into it. No question about it. All right. As many as you know, our friend is Jan Bergemann has been close with this show for a while. Jan, right? And Jan is with Cyber Citizens for Justice. That's www.ccfj.net. Longtime friend of the show. He's out there 24/7, 365, fighting for the rights of condo and HOA owners throughout the state of Florida. And Jan asked me to give him some help and write a bill. Let's see if we can get a bill passed that's long overdue. And it would allow owners in an HOA to install a generator in their home so that when the electricity goes out in their home, the generator would kick on and give them back electricity. Sounds like, pretty simple, right?
So differentiate install a generator versus having one in the garage that you just
That's a little one. That's
you want one that can run the refrigerator and the air
correct.
conditioning, and so it's
whole
got to be
house,
installed.
The whole house. So let me explain what I did in my home. You bit the bullet. It's not. I'm not saying it's cheap.
Oh no.
But it's amazing. So in my home, I live in an HOA, and what we had to do was dig up the front yard. Okay, which I own. It's not a zero lot line. I own the front yard, but we dug it up, put in the ground a 500-gallon propane tank.
Holy smokes.
Now close the ground up, right? And we ran a line from the front of the house to the back of the house where we put the generator.
Wow.
Right? And ran the appropriate electrical lines. And when the power goes out, boom, that clicks on automatically within a minute, and it runs the whole house.
I'm worried about 500 gallons of propane in the front yard.
Right, but let me tell you
Like
how many
Caddyshack.
inspections that had to go through.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of homes in the community that actually have it, but how many inspections that had to go through. And believe it or not, Florida does not have a bill, any law whatsoever, that would allow people in an HOA to install a generator in their home.
So did you have problems with the board because not all HOAs allow you to install?
No, I live in the best freaking HOA in the entire state.
But some don't let you do it.
That's exactly right. Some boards are like, no. I don't know whether it's a jealousy thing sometimes, where I mean that sincerely, where you don't know if the people on the board can't afford it.
You
right,
can't have
you
power.
can't have power, right? So,
Or maybe you don't own the land like this lady.
and it could be where it's a zero lot
Right.
line. Remember, you don't own the land
Right.
outside the door.
You just own the house.
Or you just own the house. So the HOA owns the land. So they say, nope, we're not allowing you to do it on our land. But Florida is a state where we have a lot of elderly people. When do the storms normally hit? The storm's normally hitting the hottest months of the year.
And I guess you don't want that propane tank above the ground because that would be bad.
Well,
if the wind.
So sometimes you can't fit it underground. Sometimes it has to go above ground, and it's safe above ground
It is,
too.
okay.
But the question is, what about aesthetics? Would it look ugly?
Well, if they don't want it in the ground, then I'm going to put it next to the house. Can they stop me from doing that?
To put it inside, I don't know. It's not allowed inside the house.
No. Next to the house, outside, next to the unit.
Right. That's what we're talking about. That's the bill I was asked to draft.
Okay, so it's not going to go in the ground.
But it could be either or.
Okay.
Right. So the bill I drafted was either or.
Okay.
And, Jan asked me to draft this bill. It would let the owners install a generator. And like I said, I was allowed to do it in my community. I can't see how anybody else in the state of Florida shouldn't be allowed to have that same right.
Especially if you own your home.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you own your home.
It's not like I'm in a condo.
But if you don't have the right to install that generator, it's as if you kind of don't own your home, right?
Correct.
Here, if there's ever a time I want to do something with my home and make it more safe, it's to install a backup generator.
It seems like with the Alligator story and now this story,
yes,
that HOAs are unfair.
Sometimes, I guess the people that are listening to this show will certainly tell you that, right? We've always said they've been the redheaded stepchild when it comes to litigation, where here we go.
And you have no DBPR.
Exactly. Well, so here's what I did when I was asked to draft this bill. If you remember, my office was asked to draft the electric vehicle charging station bill.
Yes. Oh, you added this.
People who bought an electric vehicle charging station, they wanted to have the ability. People who bought an electric vehicle, wanted the ability in a condo to install an electric vehicle charging station.
And you need a generator if the power goes out.
Right. But here I said, okay, let's do this. Let's take the electric vehicle charging station bill that we drafted, that passed easily, and take out the words electric vehicle charging station, basically, and put the words generator.
Oh, my God.
So, of course, there's with some modifications.
Brilliant.
But drafted the bill, so now by the way, the bill's been filed and the bill is taking off.
I can't believe that there was no law that would allow you to do that in Florida.
Believe it or not. So you have elderly people, the electric would go out, no AC.
Or they might be on some life support type of iron lung or something at home.
Exactly right. But right now,
and unbearable humidity. Look what happened to those poor people in Hollywood. Remember the
in the nursing home.
Yes,
that was a freaking
Hurricane
tragedy.
Ida.
What, did like 20 people died in one shot?
They had no air conditioning, and the hospital was across the street.
Exactly. So for the people that are playing along at home, here we go. It's already filed. It's House Bill 293, right? But what I'm being told by Jan is that Senate Bill 600, which is the companion bill to 293, it's going to be amended tomorrow, okay? And tomorrow it's going to add fixed generators and fuel tanks to the bill. So homeowners, you're going to actually be allowed to do this in your home. Now, it's going to be subject to the HOA being able to tell you, okay, put it like in the least conspicuous place, maybe surround it with some landscaping.
What if
No
it's
problem.
in the documents that says you can't?
I think this potentially can override it. This is a health safety issue, I think. So, we got to see if you have Kaufman language, right? There's going to be all kinds of arguments. But the bottom line is, put those arguments on the side for a minute.
At least get a bill.
Let's move in the right direction. Let's get a bill. I think it's important for the life and health of the people that live in our community,
100%.
especially the elderly. And you made a comment before about explosions. The truth is, we never hear of an explosion with a generator tank or generators blowing up. What do we hear more? Alligators attacking somebody or generators blowing up?
Only when the alligator bites the fuel line does it explode.
I don't know. I got a good imagination. But let's get this bill passed. Let's get mandatory education passed.
Yes.
Right? And then we can call it a banner year and lick our chops. But let's see what our listeners think. Give us a call here in the studio. 717-GLAZER-8, 717-GLAZER-8. Again, that's 717-452-9378. Or drop us a line in the chat box on YouTube. There
are very large management companies, and there are very small management companies. And I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that, where they are big enough to provide you with all of the back of the house services, the accounting, the infrastructure, the support systems, but small enough to be high touch.
We believe at Affinity that we do the 9 to 5 so that you don't have to do that.
An unexpected leak. Jay, you know that's no way to solve a roof problem. Call Best Roofing. We solve roof problems.
We are DMI Paving and Seal Coating, Florida's parking lot experts. We specialize in asphalt paving and repair, including pothole repair, seal coating using JC7 or polytar, concrete curbs, ramps, and walkways, and striping and pavement marking, as well as ADA compliance. We service commercial properties, including homeowners associations, apartment communities, shopping malls, warehouses, stadiums and arenas, and more. Experience is worth more than anything in an industry like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6 locations. Let us bid on your next parking lot project. Visit us online at dmipavingandsealcoating.com.
Rimkus Consultants offer the professional expertise to help condominium and cooperative communities provide safe, compliant buildings for their tenants. We have more than 170 Florida licensed engineers and architects who are experienced with local regulations and can assist with Senate Bill 4D compliance. We can help with milestone structural inspections, capital expenditure evaluations, structural integrity reserve studies, and developer transition reports. Focusing on energy, resilience, maintainability, and sustainability, our experts can help with every phase of the building life cycle. For mitigation after a catastrophic event, building restoration, repair and remediation consulting, or Senate Bill 4D inspections, please visit rimkus.com.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. We are so excited. Glazer specializes in community association law, board certified, taking your questions either on the phone, 717-GLAZER-8, or you can ask us in the chat box on our YouTube channel. But you also have invented this course that you've been teaching for, what, 15 years?
Yeah, first attorney to actually get it approved.
Yes, certified. And so instead of people signing the affidavit that when they get on the board, they actually learn something, and you're getting hopefully a law that makes it mandatory. But
forget signing that dumb affidavit.
So many people say they've already signed up for the one on February 6th.
It's exploding. It's exploding. Yeah, I get notification every time someone signs up, and let me tell you, it's exploding. But as Karen is saying, we are right in the middle of election season. I'm running from one election to the other right now, and like Karen was saying, if you're a member of a condo or an HOA board, you have 90 days to get certified once you get on that board. If not, you are removed. And why not get certified by taking a class? Because I will tell you, I'm going to go on record right now, it's going to be mandatory. That's how sure
positive you are.
Certain yeah, I'm positive, because it's not just in one bill. You have a lot of different legislators throwing it into various different bills. There's a lot of support behind it this year. So I really don't see you having the ability anymore to sign that affidavit. Not only that, there's going to be continuing education,
which is
classes,
smart,
which is going to be great. So again, you don't take it within 90 days of getting on the board, you are automatically off the board, and we got a decent schedule coming up in February. I'll tell you that. Karen, where do we start?
So February 6th, is it Broward at the Signature Grand off of 595? That one, is that filled? Is that sold out?
That's, okay. I mean, you still have time to register, but I will tell you, there are so many people registered for that course already. Like, it's going to be jam-packed.
Okay. And February 9th at the Tampa Convention Center. Do you still have the Condo Craze van?
No, I don't have that anymore. No, we used
so
to go.
Fun.
Right. No, now I go in my car with the Condo Craze plates.
Okay.
Right. But February 6th in Broward, February 9th at the Tampa Convention Center, and then February 13th, Palm Beach at the Palm Beach Convention
nice.
Center. Now, all of these are at the L&L Condo and HOA Expo, so you're there with hundreds of vendors. It's a really nice day.
It's free.
It's free. Not just my classes taught. There's a lot of classes that are taught. You can spend the whole day getting educated, eating well, meeting vendors. It really is a great.
I mean, half the state lives in a condo or an HOA or community association,
Exactly,
so it's really smart. Even residents come to these classes.
Absolutely.
And you teach so many different topics at your seminar. Some people come back year after year,
Some
because
people
they
tell
love
me
it.
They've been back 6-7 times.
There you go.
But to register, just go to condocrazeandhoas.com. Again, condocrazeandhoas.com. Rob, who's our first call?
Let's see. We have John.
John, how are you, John?
John.
Actually, it's Sean. How are you doing?
Oh, Sean, how are you? Good morning.
Good, good. Hey, first and foremost, in case you didn't realize, when you guys go on commercial break,
Yes.
if you're on the phone waiting for a call,
You can hear us.
We can hear your conversation.
That's okay.
Really? Were we saying
Yeah.
anything bad?
No.
Any curse
Oh,
words?
oh yeah, it's okay. I know you guys are professional, but I thought you'd like to know that.
We'll fix that. Thank you, buddy. Hey, how do you like our backdrop, though? Do you like the backdrop now? How do we look?
Sure. I think everything that's been going on the show has been great.
Thank you so much.
It's come a long way from the 800 number.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
Oh, yes.
So that'll tell you how long that Sean is listening to the show.
Oh, my God, Sean.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Sean.
you.
That's great. Really appreciate it.
I probably took your class in Orlando. Oh God, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but it's been a while.
Before the
10, 12
condominiums
years.
even existed. That's how dedicated Sean is. How can we help, my friend?
Yeah. So I live in an HOA, and they're looking to reallocate reserve fund money from a category, and if they do that, does that money have to be repaid back into that category? And if so, in what time?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Are they using the straight line method of reserves, or are they using the pooling method of reserves? Because you could be...
No, we have a straight line where we have specific categories for specific maintenance items.
Okay, so just to let you know, even when you do the pooling method, it works the same way, right? But you vote to put everything into one pool, and if anything needs to be fixed, you can take the money out of that pool as long as it's for something you pooled for, okay? So just let me educate the community on that. But if you're saying using just a straight line category, and you're telling me that money was used from one category to pay to fix something in another category, yes, that does violate the law.
No, not even anything that's in a category.
Oh, not even that?
Not even anything that's in a category.
Okay, so clearly, clearly...
To make it worse.
Yeah, clearly violates the law, and the answer is it should be put back immediately. Immediately. Now, if this was a condo, right?
Can they be sued? This is an HOA, but can they be sued
Here's the
individually
reality of it.
if they do that?
Here's the reality of it. Probably not. The answer is probably not, and I'll tell you why. Let's look at it practically. Let's say that they didn't take the money from the reserves, that they did, right? What would the alternative be? The alternative would be that you have to pass a special assessment. So are you really, truly damaged in any way? And the answer to that would be, economically, and the answer to that would be probably not. So that's why, can you get sued? Yeah, if a lawsuit was filed, a court would probably order the board to put it back. How do you put it back if it's spent already?
Yeah.
Then you have to pass a special assessment. So you're going around and round in circles. It's
a circle.
Right. Exactly, Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even worse, what if they try to do it without taking a membership vote?
Well, that's, I'm sure, what happened here. That's what you're telling me. Now, you can do that. You can use the money for something else as long as you get that vote of the community. And, by the way, the percentage of vote that you need has now changed. It used to be all you need was a majority of a quorum, right? Now you need a majority of everybody in the community to use reserve funds for something that they weren't originally intended for. Brand new law.
Right.
Okay?
Perfect.
Sean, my friend, thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Eric. I
buddy.
appreciate it.
Take care.
And I put the question in the board, so scratch it.
Okay, thank you.
got
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. Who else we got, Robert?
Bye.
Let's go to next caller is Joe.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the show. I'm one of the original 3,000 that was certified.
That's great.
Anyway, my
Wow.
question is pretty simple. You do a great job, and I listen to you every Sunday.
Thank you.
A board was presented with a contract, and the board said, no, we needed additional terms such as more insurance, so they approved the contract as amended.
Okay.
Is that legal when the amended contract is presented by the vendor and signed by the vendor? Does the president have to go back to the board, or can he sign it?
So, maybe I'm confused. So a contract was presented to the board, right? The board didn't.
Correct.
The board didn't like the contract, so the board said it has to be amended. Right?
They hadn't signed it
They
first.
hadn't signed it, right?
We haven't signed it.
Okay, good.
So it goes back to the vendor. Did the vendor make the amendment?
Yes.
Okay. So now it comes back to the board, right?
That's refreshing.
And
They
I've
didn't
come
sign
back
it
to the board.
first.
Right. It didn't come
Look
back
at
to the board.
president signed-
Okay.
Right.
Well, if at the previous meeting the board said it's okay, but for the insurance clause, and the insurance clause was in fact changed, I don't think I have a problem with the president now signing it, if that's what the prior vote at the board meeting was.
Prior board was as amended, approved.
Yeah, no problem.
And-
Then I got no problem with the president signing it.
Thank you.
Okay.
As again, great show.
Thanks
Thank you.
very much appreciated. Hey, let's go to the board here for a second.
Okay.
Art writes in, hey, Eric and Karen. Alan does the same thing. Alan says, can a condo that has required food cards
I saw that.
hold back the cards due to owing condo payments?
That's mean.
So a lot of people might not know what food cards are.
Well, they have a restaurant or something?
Right,
Okay.
exactly. Sometimes you have a restaurant on the community. Typically, the members that live in the condo or HOA kind of funded that restaurant, right? They keep it going. And in return, they get back like food cards to use, right? A certain amount of food cards. And the association says, now you're not getting your food card? No.
Yeah.
I
that's-
can't see that anywhere in your governing
Completely
documents
punitive.
or in 718 or 720 that would allow for that. So the
I can
answer
see
is no. I'd
Not
sue
being
for
able to
my-
use the common elements.
Right. If your documents allow for that, if you have Kaufman
But
language, so on, so
food?
but food cards, no, absolutely not. I think that if the person whose food card was being held back files suit, they would probably win, unless there's something in the governing documents that specifically say when this was passed that the association would have the right to hold back if you become delinquent. But other
But
than
that means they're not paying for the food card if they're not paying.
right, and that's how the board members are looking at it. Well,
And
you're
that's
not paying for the food.
understandable.
But you can't just stop. It's like cable TV.
Right.
Can you pull someone's cable TV?
Okay.
No, you can't, because the statute doesn't allow for
Got
it.
it.
Same thing with food cards here. So I would tell that hungry person, file suit.
Call Eric. Give your
Okay.
number out.
Right. All right, who else we got, Robert?
Let's go to Alan.
Hey, Alan. Alan.
Hello.
Hey, Alan, good morning.
It's Olin, O-L-I-N.
Oh, sorry about that, Olin.
Oh, Olin.
Good morning. How can we help?
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay. I want to ask a question about this new law, this 723.065, about campaigning for elections. You can't threaten, you can't promise people, you can't do anything to coerce people into voting for you.
Yeah, it's not a federal election.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you're running to be if you're running to be a director, what can and can't you do, and can you still go around and collect people's ballots and proxies and
course you
take them to the?
Of course you can. You know, that statute was designed to prevent fraudulent elections. It was designed to prevent coercion in elections. It was designed to prevent paying for votes. But sure, you can campaign legally. No two ways about that. As a matter of fact, in HOAs, as we know, a lot of the elections take place through proxy voting.
Right,
Proxy
right.
voting is allowed.
Right.
So
And you can collect the proxy
and you
votes?
can collect the
Okay.
proxies. Totally allowed. What you can't do, again, what that law was designed to prevent, what you can't do is threaten, coerce, pay for, etc.
Okay.
But the regular stuff about going out and campaigning and saying why you're better than the other guy, no problem. You can certainly do that. Want to print out literature that says why I'm the person for the job? Absolutely, no problem. get proxy votes, no problem. You just can't do the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right. I understand what the intent was, but the law is just so meticulous in all the different. You can't do this. You can't threaten. You can't promise anybody. So it can be construed as if you ask somebody for a vote, you tell them you're better than the other guy, then you're coerced.
No, I don't think so.
No, you have to be
no.
specific. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that you're going to be able to get X, Y, Z.
Yeah, but or I'm going to break your legs if you don't vote for me. There's a clear violation of the statute.
That's a clear violation,
right? That's what it's really intended to do. Okay, to make sure that our votes down here don't become like Chicago. Okay, where dead people vote.
Well, I hope.
Okay.
I don't know if you got time. I got one more little thing. If you sent the HOA a demand letter or a cease and desist letter or something threatening to take legal action, is there anything preventing you from running to be a director?
Absolutely not. And that's asked all the time. That's a great question, Olin. I get calls from associations all the time that says, Sam is already suing the association. Sam can't run for the board, right? Of course Sam can run for the board. Absolutely,
good question.
Sam can run for the board. Let's say Sam gets elected to the board. The only thing Sam can't do now as a director is to vote on an issue involving his case, obviously.
I see. Okay.
Right? That would be a clear conflict of interest. But anybody running for suing the board in court, in litigation, almost in litigation with the board, in arbitration, sure, you can actually run for the board and get elected.
But if he gets elected and he fixes the problem for which he's suing, that would be beneficial.
Right, that's true. If that happens, that's correct.
Okay.
And that might not necessarily be a conflict.
Okay.
But you got to, if you do get elected, you got to be really careful that you're not doing something to benefit you personally now in your lawsuit.
Make a suggestion.
Okay.
So that would prevent you from voting for that specific issue.
Correct. I would tell Sam, for example, like I said, no, you don't vote on this because it affects you in your lawsuit personally. You potentially stand to have a monetary gain by the vote. You stay away from it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Hey, Olin,
Right.
thank you so much for the call. Much appreciated. Let's do this. Let's take our bottom of the hour break. Keep the calls coming in. 717-GLAZER-8 again. 717-GLAZER-8.
And if you give your name, it's an automated system. So, like, Olin came out as what? Alan?
Alan, yeah.
Try to speak clearly, I guess. Is it say Olin?
Exactly.
You know, so we get it right.
It's artificial intelligence
That's
catching
right.
up, right? All right, what is it, 717-452-9378? Or keep your questions coming in the chat
Please.
box. We will be...
There are very large management companies, and there are very small management companies. And I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that, where they are big enough to provide you with all of the back-of-the-house services, the accounting, the infrastructure, the support systems, but small enough to be high touch.
We believe at Affinity that we do the 9 to 5 so that you don't have to do that.
Oh no, an unexpected leak. Jay, you know that's no way to solve a roof problem. Call Best Roofing. We solve roof problems.
We are DMI Paving and Seal Coating, Florida's parking lot experts. We specialize in asphalt paving and repair, including pothole repair, seal coating using JC7 or polytar, concrete curbs, ramps, and walkways, and striping and pavement marking, as well as ADA compliance. We service commercial properties, including homeowners associations, apartment communities, shopping malls, warehouses, stadiums and arenas, and more. Experience is worth more than anything in an industry like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6 locations. Let us bid on your next parking lot project. Visit us online at dmipavingandsealcoating.com.
Rimkus Consultants offer the professional expertise to help condominium and cooperative communities provide safe, compliant buildings for their tenants. We have more than 170 Florida licensed engineers and architects who are experienced with local regulations and can assist with Senate Bill 4D compliance. We can help with milestone structural inspections, capital expenditure evaluations, structural integrity reserve studies, and developer transition reports. Focusing on energy, resilience, maintainability, and sustainability, our experts can help with every phase of the building life cycle. For mitigation after a catastrophic event, building restoration, repair and remediation consulting, or Senate Bill 4D inspections, please visit rimkus.com.
Welcome back to the second half of Condo Craze and HOAs here on our YouTube channel. Attorney Eric Glazer. He's board certified in Community Association Law. I'm Karen Curtis, and we're taking your calls at 717-GLAZER-8. That's with a Z. And also, you can ask in the chat box a question as well on our YouTube channel.
Let's go to the chat box. Vidal writes in, I signed up for the seminar February 6th.
Very large management company.
We are now certified. You absolutely will, and that certificate becomes an official record of the association. In other words, you could maintain the original, give a copy to your secretary or management company, because owners who live in your community, if they want to find out whether or not their board members are certified, they have a right to ask for a copy of that.
Good.
So, yeah, so you will get that certificate.
It's frameable.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's actually a nice-looking certificate. And, yes, we'll be proud to give that out. Richard writes in and says, good morning. When is the Orlando seminar? The Orlando seminar is May 21st. I will not be there in person, but it's May 21st. If the mandatory class law passes, you'll need a much larger room. And let me tell you something. He's right.
You're right.
If
What are you gonna
mandatory
do?
education passes, it's going to explode the amount of attendees. We'll probably just have to do it more often. Which
Or
is,
can you do Zoom?
Yes, but I want to, you know what?
You like the
There's
in person.
It's like I'm watching my son take college classes online.
Not
and I'm
the
like,
same.
this is ridiculous.
You could do it at the Hard Rock.
You can't do it at the Hard Rock anymore. No, you have no idea.
No. I mean in the where they perform. Stevie Nicks is coming. You
Oh,
could,
really?
Take her
Right.
off the stage.
the main auditorium. But yeah, we're gonna probably have to do lots more than these. You're right.
This could become wow. Yeah, they're right.
Let's see. All right, you know what? Let's go back to the calls for a moment before we take more from the board.
All right, we have, it looks like David.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, really? All right.
Dave, how are you?
Yeah, turn down your computer. Hey, Dave.
Dave, you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Dave is gone. Dave will
Here's
call back.
George Molnar on our chat box says there's a great line from Citizen Kane. Orson Welles is Charles Foster Kane. And running for governor, quote, I'd make my campaign promises now if I weren't so busy arranging to keep them.
Anybody else on the phone?
Yeah, let's go to Leslie.
Leslie, how are you, Leslie?
Turn down your computer. Because there's a delay. That's the
Leslie.
problem. She's listening on the computer, not on...
Okay, got to keep shutting everybody off if they don't shut. When you guys call in, you got to shut your radio off. This is what happens. So,
Here, Leslie, are you there?
Warren writes in, do you know of any good management companies? And, of course, what are we going to do? We're going to tell you to go on our website, go to condocrazeandhoas.com, right? And you'll see a list of our sponsors, and you'll see the management companies that are there. And, of course, that's the ones that this show is going to promote.
You have Sexy Voice?
Sexy Voice is there. Yes, absolutely. Affinity Management.
Love him.
You got it. Who else we got, Rob?
Let's try Leslie again.
Leslie, how are you, Leslie?
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hey, good morning,
Okay.
Leslie. How are you?
Okay. Now, what happens when the president is incapacitated for a couple of months? The vice president goes back and forth to tell him what was happening. The secretary called a budget meeting, and then we all discussed it. Somebody who wasn't on the board claimed that we did it illegally, but it was all posted. The secretary posted it. What's going on?
What makes it illegal? Because hold on, Leslie. What makes it illegal? Because because the president wasn't there?
Correct. He said it was illegal.
No.
So some member was. I know. So some member came that wasn't on the board and claimed that he was illegal, and I said it wasn't.
No, it makes no difference if a president is at a board meeting to make it legal or not. A president is a director like anybody else. You know, for some reason, there's this aura. It's almost a fake aura that's built up around
the board just picks him.
Title president, you know? And the president really doesn't have much power more than anybody else. And the president is a director. So let's say you have a 5-member board. 3 directors show up, and the president does not show up. Totally legal meeting.
Okay.
President doesn't have to be there.
Okay, good.
Okay, Leslie?
I thank you.
Thank you.
See you on the 13th.
Leslie has been coming to seminars for so long. She is a darling of the show, a real sweetheart. Thank you, Leslie.
By the way, Eric,
Yes.
there's I think this guy's name is Middleton. He goes, is there succession planning to the show? Because your show's too critical if it comes to an end. We're not coming to an end.
We're not
this
coming
is
to an end.
beginning of something
I
huge.
looked at that question and I'm like,
No, this is the beginning of something
Someone
really...
got it out for me? Do I need
No.
to wear a bulletproof vest or something? You know?
Kevlar.
Kevlar, right? So I wasn't sure what that meant. So
No, we're
stay away
good. We're
from
here
it.
for a while.
We certainly will be. As long as the
Another
calls keep
15
coming
years,
in,
yeah.
I'll be answering the phones with you, Karen. Let's do this. Let's take our final break of the hour. Keep the calls coming in. 717-GLAZER-8. Again, 717-GLAZER-8. That's 717-452-9378. We'll be back.
Home or condo looking old, worn out, and in need of a fresh look? Then you need PD Painting to paint your property and make it look like new again. PD Painting will first properly prepare your home and condo and then use only the highest quality paint products. After many years in the painting industry, PD Painting has achieved a reputation for always delivering a reliable and professional finish. PD Painting is fully licensed and insured and offers a 7 to 10 year warranty. Their technicians are expert craftsmen. Let PD Painting handle all the details and then sit back and watch them restore your property and bring back that brand new look and feel. Need a service call? PD Painting will be there on the spot. Need financing? PD Painting can offer that too. Call PD Painting at 888-416-3204. Again, that's 888-416-3204. Go to the website pdpaintinginc.com. Need painting done in your home and community? Contact the experts at PD Painting.
This message is for anyone who has taken on the important responsibility of becoming an officer or director in a homeowner or condominium association. It is also for the management companies who work closely with these caring people to make sure things are done the right way. Hello, I'm Gil Pomar, South Florida Regional President for Center State Bank, now the second largest bank based in Florida. Our bank, Center State Bank, has an amazing team of professionals who are exclusively dedicated to the homeowner and condo association market. Your job is not easy. There are repairs and new projects that need financing. There are legal and social issues that need to be understood. There are also technology and servicing issues that your residents want to be improved. Why not choose a bank that knows this business backward and forward? Why not have a local banker who will meet with you face to face whenever it is convenient for you or your board? Center State Bank has over 2,000 associations as customers for a reason. Please give us a chance to earn your business. Call Terry Russo at 954-633-1666 to make it happen. Center State Bank is an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC.
Need an insurance evaluation, audit, or quotation for your condo association or homeowners association? If so, then you need to speak with our insurance experts at Mack & Waltz. We insure over 800 associations, and we are the clear leader in this marketplace. Mack & Waltz has been in business since 1989. We write insurance on billions of dollars of property values. We are an independent insurance agency representing insurance companies which specialize.
So we can answer that, but there's 10 calls. I think we should.
Former condo looking old, worn out, and in need of a fresh look? Then you need PD Painting to paint your property and make it look like new again. PD Painting will first properly prepare your home and condo and then use only the highest quality paint products. After many years in the painting industry, PD Painting has achieved a reputation.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs on our YouTube channel of the same name. Give us a call, and you can speak live to Eric, who's board certified in Community Association Law, and he has many education courses for you to take as well. 717-452-9378. That spells out to 717 Glazer with a Z8.
Okay, Peg writes in, I like the backdrop. Thank you, Peg. Sean writes in, what happens if an HOA board refuses to have the required election at the annual meeting? Great show. Thank you both. Then they are in violation of Florida statute 720. There's case law out there that says that you have to have the annual meeting on the date as provided for in your bylaws. Because if you don't have it on that date, think about it. It's as if you changed the bylaws, right? And you did that without a vote of the community. So it's illegal. So it's got to be on the date of your bylaws. The association doesn't do that. You can file suit. Now, I'm getting told we have like a dozen calls.
Let's go.
Robert, here we go. One by one.
Let's go to Todd.
Todd.
Hey, Todd. Todd, how are you?
Hey, Todd. Todd on the phone. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi.
Todd, where are you calling from? Hold on, Todd. Todd, where are you calling from? I want to know where everybody's calling from.
Oh, Edgewater on Hollywood.
Got it. Okay, how can we help?
Okay, well, I look forward to the second year attending your expo. Owner wants to sell their one-bedroom unit to a family of four. What's the legality of that?
So,
as far as occupancy,
do the governing documents of the association have any restrictions in them that say a one-bedroom can only be occupied by 3 people, etc.? Anything like that in the docs?
There's a leasing part that says only 2 people per bedroom, and then there's a separate clause in there within that leasing paragraph that doesn't say anything about leasing, but it says it can only be a one-bedroom can only be lived in by 2 people.
Well, let me ask you this: the 2 people that are going to move in, right? How old are the old are the children? Or are they, let me
9 and 10.
Okay, so there's case law out there that. So, and wait, and you're selling how big is your unit?
Well, I'm not selling it, but someone. It's an 800 square foot, and I was reading about the Keating memo about kids needing a bedroom.
Right. Okay. How many people are intended to be in the unit when it's going to be sold? How many people are moving in? 4 people, right?
2 now. 2 adults, 2 children.
Okay.
2, 9, and 10.
And how many bedrooms again?
1.
In a 1-bedroom. So the question is, my God, you should see how I was raised. My parents had 4 children in a 2-bedroom. I don't think the unit was 800 square feet.
Wow.
So
this is in Brooklyn.
Yeah, in Brooklyn, right. So what do I think? The associations have to be careful about discrimination based upon familial status. For example, there are some condo associations that say if you have a 1-bedroom, only 2 people can move in. Now, suppose those 2 people have a newborn child.
That's not moving in,
right? But does the child count as a third person? And the government's answer is no, because that child normally stays with the mom and dad in the bedroom for at least the first year or so. Anyway, it's discrimination based on familial status.
Okay.
So here you have a situation where there's 1 bedroom and the association saying you can't sell it to a family of 4. I don't know what the law is, but my gut is telling me There's nothing wrong with children sharing a bedroom and the parents sleeping in the living room if that's how they so choose. I'd be really nervous about having that in my governing documents. I'm not going to give a definitive answer now because I don't know, but I would say I can certainly make a good argument that the children are going to share a bedroom, right? And the parents are going to sleep in the living room. And if you don't allow that, that's a really good argument that you are discriminating based upon familial status. And that would subject the association to a lawsuit in federal court. Okay?
Right. So if it was an amendment in the documents restricting it, that would be okay.
No, I'm not even sure an amendment would do it. If there's something in the governing documents that that discriminates against families, I'm not going to say that amendment makes it perfectly legal. It still discriminates
You think
based
federal
upon
law
familiar.
would...
Right, federal law would trump that amendment. Exactly. Okay.
Right. Got it. Okay. One last quick one. Somebody sent in a HOA due. It was postmarked on time, but it was returned to them, and they didn't pay till after the due date. Are they required to pay late fees?
Yes, because the bottom line is if you look at the documents, those late fees kick in if not received by a certain time. So the answer is yes.
Okay.
And please, for those that are listening, do not fight over the late fee. Do not withhold payment. Do not, try to be a tough guy by withholding payment, because by withholding $25, it will cost you $2,500.
Snowball.
Trust me, it snowballs quick. Okay? Thanks for the call, Todd.
Right. Great. Thank you. Thanks, Eric.
You got it, buddy. Who else, Rob? Keep them coming.
Let's go to it, and it could be Juliet. I'm not sure.
Oh, Juliet.
Juliet, I will be your Romeo. How can I help?
Always for such a wealth of information. I have two quick questions. One, we have some homeowners who are in collections and also they filed bankruptcy. Can we hold their amenities like the pool?
No, great question. First of all, I guess she rejected my Romeo.
Yeah,
advance.
she seems to just
went right over that. Yeah. Okay, so no. And this is so important. It's a great question.
But she likes the wealth of information.
She is. I am. Thank you very much. If someone is in bankruptcy, okay, in your community. Now, the law normally allows you to do various things.
Right.
Like prevent them from using the common elements, right? Prevent them from running for the board, remove them from the board, all these things. You can forget that once a person files bankruptcy.
So it's a protection.
That all stops, right? Because there's an automatic stay against that debtor when it comes to any collection attempts.
Okay.
And by withholding all of these things from them, that would be considered a attempt at collection. Therefore, the bankruptcy court can hold the association in contempt of court in the bankruptcy, and it has happened before. There's cases on this. So do not do that. The person who's in bankruptcy, just don't go after them, period. Now, I'm not saying don't try to collect your debts in the bankruptcy court. Absolutely, hire an attorney who knows the bankruptcy system and try to make sure that you're going to be paid in some way. But don't take action against them, like prevent them from using the common areas, prevent them from running for the board, stuff like that. That will get you sued.
So that's bankruptcy, but how about those who are in collection? They haven't paid, they passed the 90
Yes,
days.
so if your association has language in your governing documents that would allow you to do those things, right, or has Kaufman language, right, which brings your association documents into the present, right, then you can prevent them from running for the board. You can prevent them from using the common elements, etc.
But you can't keep their food card from them.
But you can't keep their food card from them, as learned earlier today. Okay?
We're an HOA. One very quick question. Can a tenant run for the board in an HOA?
It depends. Now, I guess if people that are listening now, right, I would think most people said automatically no. And the answer is not necessarily no. You have to look at the governing documents.
Well, don't you need to be on the deed?
No, sometimes no. Let's say 95% of the time you do have to be on the deed. 95% of the time, yes. 5% of the time, you'll find associations out there that say you don't have to be on the deed to be either a member of the board or an officer.
Ah, really?
So, yeah, it's rare, but it's out there.
Okay.
Okay, keep them coming, Robert.
Who else we got? Thanks,
Thank you.
Juliet.
Next caller, it could be Whitney.
Whitney?
Whitney. How are you, Whitney?
Are you with me?
Whitney.
No, I'm Cesar.
Oh, Cesar. Hello.
Cesar. Well, it's a lot different than Whitney.
It's fine.
Okay, Cesar, how can we help?
Yes, good morning, Eric. I want to ask you, so you have somebody with animal, you use the animal for monthly, something like for health.
Yes. Okay, emotional support animal or service animal, right?
Correct. But we have regulations like, go through the lobby, we have another access, we have a prevent to the dogs in the pool. These animals can go to the pool, the dogs.
Okay, so here's the law when it comes to emotional support animal, service animals. Okay?
This is so good.
The animal can go wherever the owner is allowed to go, period, except for in the pool.
In the pool, but they can go to the pool.
On the pool deck, right, and they can get sun.
And if they give you a hard time, Eric's told me this personally because my dad, we have a service animal.
Yep.
Go ahead and keep doing it because you have a suit.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lawsuit if you're prevented from bringing the animal anywhere that the owner is already allowed to go. Keep them coming, Robert.
Who's next?
Let's go to, this could be Donna.
Donna. Good morning, Donna.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Okay, good morning.
Thanks for taking my call.
Donata.
Good morning. Yes. Eric, I have two questions. One, you don't even have an idea what's going on here. Okay, one question is the following. We had a special assessment for painting. So the board, two board members, because they're not allowing the other board members to do anything nor notify her. Nothing.
Is it a three-member board? Is it a three-member board?
It's a three-member.
Hey, guess what?
Board.
Two people are the king and the queen. That's the bottom line. 2 out of the 3 rule the roost. That's just mathematics.
It's not like a marriage where the wife has all the say.
Right. Excuse me?
Oh.
Yeah,
so, yes, 2 out of the 3 will rule. That's just the way it is.
No, but wait a second. Yeah, but the question is, so the third one, they don't even have to notify them?
Well, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Of course they should be trying to at least work with the third person, but they can put up notices of meetings, without the third person's consent. They can obviously vote on things without the third person's consent.
It doesn't exist putting any meetings. Never.
Well, are you saying the meeting... Wait, hold on, Donata. Are you saying notices of the meetings are just not posted?
No, they decide between the two of them.
Okay, but that's not just picking on the third director. That's a violation as to every member of the community. Everyone should complain about that. So you're in a condo.
Scared of them, Eric.
Okay.
Wow.
Bottom line is, if you can show.
But wait, it goes bad. It goes worse. So in this special assessment for the painting, we all had to pay. We all had to pay. We paid. Everybody paid, except for one unit owner, which is allowed to pay by credit card to the vendor when we signed the contract, and the down payment has to be given.
So that one person was allowed to pay by credit card to the vendor. That's a little bizarre. I never heard of anything like that before.
He didn't pay anything because we don't have a contract yet with the vendor, but he's allowed not to pay now because he's going to pay later with a credit card.
Well, needless to say, everybody has to be treated the same. If that person gets that deal, everybody else in the community should get that deal. All right, but Donata, we have hit the end of the show. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Donata.
Thanks everybody for tuning in just week after week. We're getting bigger and better and having a lot of fun. We really are. Big football day.
Oh, thank you for bringing it
Who
up.
do we like?
Lions.
I'm praying for the Lions.
I am
to
from
beat San
Detroit.
Francisco.
I am one of those fans that have just, those poor fans.
I've been as a little boy for some reason rooting for Detroit, and always just breaks your heart every single year.
I would like to see Chiefs Detroit because
too.
Detroit beat the Chiefs in their first game of the season.
Wow.
And Mike Tirico at the end of the game said, "We need to put an asterisk on that game." And he's going to be one of the announcers for the game.
Really?
It's really annoying
Wow.
because he didn't think Detroit deserved to beat Kansas City
Terrible.
in the first game.
What a game of great quarterbacks, the Baltimore-Kansas City game, huh?
Big time,
Incredible.
big time. I mean, the whole thing is going to be so good.
Yeah, I think Mahomes pulls it out, though, because there's something special about him.
Yes.
He's playing 6 years. All 6 years he made it to the AFC Championship game.
And plus they got Taylor Swift.
That's right. The Taylor Swift factor puts them in the Super Bowl.
I think you're right.
I agree with you.
With the Lions.
With the Lions. That's what we're both hoping for. Guys, thanks for tuning in for another week. Again, an honor and a pleasure to be with you every Sunday. And we'll see and speak to you again next Sunday at 11 a.m. on Condo Craze and HOAs. Have a safe, great week, everybody.
Thank you.